Huzzah!
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of PandTha Talks, this time episode
Hello.
57.
Yes, we've researched our own channel, find out what number we're on.
Well, that's what happens when we take a week off and then we're both sat there going, what's this? How do we do all this again? Someone remind us. But
Yeah.
because we did have to leave a week, we have like 2 weeks worth of information. I don't know what the plan is yet. We will probably work it out as we go through, but I'm gonna get the main information out the way and we'll figure shit out as we go. It's a bit of a
Sounds good.
confusing one.
It'll be a ride for sure, but we'll figure it out. That's what we're
Yeah,
good at.
yeah, we work on the run. That's just how we've always done things. So, the main information we will be hitting this episode is another quadruple A game has been classified by Ubisoft, and to most people's surprise, it's already a game that's released in the past 5 years. After that,
Can't wait to hear this one.
after that, we will be looking into more Helldivers 2 news, as there's been lots of information coming out, such as leaked stratagems, vehicles, mechs, and much more. As well as that, we will be looking into what the CEO has to say about the game, because he has been, to be honest, probably one of the best I've seen in quite a few years. After that, how your gaming PC will unleash a new wave of AI innovation. Moving on from that, we will be having a quick look at the badass 71-year-old streamer who goes by Grnpda Gaming. Honestly, that man is an absolute legend. I've caught some of his streams and they are fantastic.
Don't worry, Roy. That'll be us 50 years from now.
Oh, definitely. If we make it that long. Sony lays off
Optimistic,
900.
I see.
Oh, when have I ever been? Then we will be going into the even more layoffs that have hit the gaming industry. Over 900 employees have been let go by Sony in the gaming division.
Wow, Sony joining the trend now as well.
Yep. And then we have two things to end it off in kind of a happier note. Why you shouldn't let bad gaming news get you down, a reader's feature, which I feel is something that we could all use to remind us why we shouldn't be so down about these things. And then I'd like to just have a bit of a blast from the past, discuss, even though we discuss it pretty much every couple of weeks, I've been recently playing a Skyrim collection, which is a basically mod pack if you used to play in the old Minecraft days. And I'd just like to basically go over some of the details of that at the end, and I think it'll get a lot of people quite intrigued. So,
Sounds good to me, brother.
with all that said and done, let's get into this shit. And what I'll do is, because I'm an absolute moron and forgot to share my screen with Will straight away, I'll get that done now.
Yay, stimulation.
Stimulation?
Something to do. Something to watch.
I'm going to say the last thing I need to know is about you stimulating.
Rory.
So,
Man.
Far Cry 6 is classified as another quadruple A game by Ubisoft.
Didn't we cover Far Cry 6 at some point?
I did, very briefly,
Yeah,
because I played it.
Yeah, you weren't very happy about it, if I recall.
Well, it wasn't abysmal, but the story was severely lacking.
Yeah.
When I think of Far Cry, I think Far Cry 3, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, and Far Cry 4. And Far Cry 2, actually, to be fair. All very much story based open world. They give you multiple missions to do all over the shop with different people who would give you these missions. You do a lot of really enjoyable things, and you just expand on the mechanics. Far Cry 6 tries to expand upon that, except it really fell under itself as it was trying to run. The base mechanics work fine, but then you realize it's literally just go here, do this, go here, do this, go here, do this, take this, go there, so on and so forth. It's got the typical Ubisoft trademark of Far Cry games as well, the towers, the settlements, that sort of crap. But you basically have like 5 islands, I think it is, and you
Wasn't it
just
supposed to be
work
like
through
an
them.
absolute enormous map?
Oh, it is. It is massive. But me and my friend who were playing it, we decided we wanted to play through it together because we decided to play through Far Cry 5 on the hardest difficulty, and that turned out as soon as you got a big gun, it was easy. So we did the same thing with Far Cry 6, but we just never completed it. But what we did do is within the first couple of missions, we got hold of tanks, saved them to our vehicle garage, and just drove them around the island. Turns out you're practically invincible.
Nice.
Hmm. So
So, how to beat game tank?
pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty much. So let's hit the criteria, shall we, and hit the information a bit. The term Quadruple A or Quadruple A is gaming. Sorry, AAAA or Quadruple A. I don't know why anyone would say that in that way, to be honest. It just doesn't sound right. Is gaining traction in the gaming industry as some developers are beginning to transition into this new phase of video game development. You see, I'm starting to, the more I'm thinking about this, like, we used to use the A's as basically how much of a budget they've got versus how high of quality of the game is. Ubisoft seem to only be using it in the sense of how much money they fucking spent.
Yeah.
That they don't seem to care of the quality. It's the money. It's like EA all over again.
I mean, we saw the AAA games from last year. They
Oh,
were
didn't we just?
absolutely pathetic. Sure, the games might have looked somewhat nice, but there wasn't really much of a game
No,
in really
exactly.
any of them.
I mean, this takes me back a little though to a conversation you and me had the other night about Pal World.
Hmm.
You were saying yourself how the combat was not very good at
No,
all.
that
To be
was
honest,
Enshrouded.
was it Enshrouded? Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, sorry, I thought it
And
was
it was Let's
Pal
Game
World
It
for some
Out.
reason.
He did his video on Enshrouded and did his usual breaking everything.
Yeah, he does that a lot. Yeah, Enshrouded. Honestly, though, as much of the hype the game had, the combat looks very poorly made. I agree, but it's one of like the 3 games that have blown up so far this year. Simplistic reason being, as I said to you last night, it's because people are enjoying it. They find fun from these games now.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you don't need the game to be perfect for
No,
it
exactly.
to do well.
And that's kind of the view we're starting to get from the gaming industry. You can make this game look as amazing as you want, have the best have the mechanics as refined as possible. But if your game is no fun, if you do not hit the criteria you were claiming you were going to, and you leave readers expecting more, they're not gonna want anything from that. I mean, look at
I mean,
Helldivers, prime example.
yeah. But the way games went last year, we're looking for them just to hit the minimum criteria, let alone what they
Yeah,
claim they're gonna hit. Because honestly, there was not much.
yeah,
It
no, I
was
fully agree.
all below par without a doubt.
I
But
completely agree
luckily,
with
we
you.
have seen huge improvements in the first 2 months.
Yeah, to be honest, it has been night and day in comparison.
Really has.
I mean, but we all just need to remember there are some absolutely amazing games out there that don't have to use really silly mechanics for the sake of it. And as our community manager pointed out, last year, around pretty much the beginning of January, coming into February, I had a game I absolutely despised. I'm not allowed to say its name because I made that a promise.
Right.
So I'm not going to. But what I am going to say is, how ironic is it that the beginning of this year I have got yet another game from a high publisher, from a really well-known publisher and games company that I despise to the same quality, and I played both.
Again, still feels like cheating to me, but
Da, 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 da.
come the end of this year, we're gonna have to make a whole contract up for you to not be allowed to mention things.
Yeah, and who's gonna make that contract?
Me.
Oh shit! But
Yeah.
the game I'm on about in this instance is Skull and Bones. I almost said the other one for some fucking reason. That is a game that at the moment is in my mind as the worst game of the year. And it's only been 3 months. We're just coming into the third month.
Yeah.
How can you hit that low? And Ubisoft, come on, guys. You know,
I mean, it just goes back to exactly what you just said about if they don't hit the criteria, you can have the game look as good as you want, but if you don't hit the criteria and people don't find the game fun, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. You know, our community manager pulled me up yesterday because apparently we go off topic a lot.
I mean, that's how we are.
Yeah. Now,
That's also how my brain works.
same here. Now, they weren't saying it in a bad thing. What they said was, you make my life difficult to make these TikToks. Because I go to make one, and then I'm like, oh right, I've got a timestamp now where I can start it and end it. And she's watching along, and then we go off on like a 10-minute tangent. And the TikTok limit is 10 minutes, so people will leave comments like, well, you didn't hit speak about this. And I have to always reply, yeah, we did, it's in the full episode. And she went, yeah, the reason they do that is because I can't fit it in with all your off-course ramblings. It's like, well, we do hit the criteria and they do matter. So, yeah.
She might not see this, but I've got bad news for her. The more episodes we do, the more that's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean,
because we're gonna have things to reference back to.
Exactly. And my favourite thing about this is I've basically just gone on a tangent about her telling me off for going on a tangent. So if you're seeing this, community manager, sorry.
He's not sorry.
No, not in the slightest. Anyway.
He knows that, I know that, you know that.
Everyone knows that. Anyways, let's actually continue before I suddenly start getting spammed with messages. Ubisoft appears to be at the forefront of this transition, releasing what it considers the first official Quadruple A game of 2024. Bullshit. Skull and Bones. Bollocks. However, this launch was perceived as underwhelming, signalling a rocky start for Quadruple A titles this year. There's no such fucking thing.
I would love to know. I would love to hear from their mouth their description of what makes a Quadruple A game.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
we're never going to hear it.
No, we've got
it. We're never going to hear the truth of it.
Why it matters. The emergence of Quadruple A games represents a significant shift in the gaming industry. These titles are expected to surpass Quadruple A games in terms of budgets, scale, and immersion.
You edit the page to just take out scale and immersion and change that first comma with a full stop.
Yeah, to be honest, I actually can. Let's do this, shall we? Let's correct what they're on about here. Okay, so I need to open this P tag. Then I can edit this bit here, delete that, and enter. There we go.
Well, that's essentially the truth.
Yeah.
Because the two games technically won. But I guess if you look at its budget, it's probably Far Cry 6 probably does fall under this criteria. The two games that are being considered Quadruple A games have been awful.
Yeah.
One of them has had 5 previous games and is probably done worse than all of them.
I'm not too sure. Far Cry 6 wasn't horrific. It could have been much, much better. That's the thing. It was an enjoyable game. I just wouldn't call it a Far Cry game, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was okay. And I didn't have some moments where I really enjoyed myself, like going around the tanks and just fucking shit up. But Skull and Bones is a completely different thing at this point. It's like all it is a better budget. We're going for immersion. The only thing you got was better graphics. How is using one of the mobile games clicking this zone mini games for every collection immersive? I mean, I'd personally say Rust is more immersive because you're actually cutting down the fucking trees and mining the rocks. Like,
Yeah, man, I love it. I love going outside and just see a giant spark in a rock and punching it.
Sparkle Punch!
Oh, shiny.
That's the good thing fucking Tinkerbell doesn't exist.
Oh,
Sparkle
God.
Punch!
I mean, maybe she did, and that's exactly what happened, and then she ceased to exist because she got punched.
Ew! I got bug on my hands.
Did that bug talk? I don't know. I'm too busy punching it.
Welcome to Rust, people. So, we actually have a unannounced quadruple A game. This is what we're on about here. Let's have a read at what they've said, because I'm actually kind of intrigued. Project Coordinator. Oh, this is someone's LinkedIn page. Intermediate role in production for Far Cry 6. Manage 2 teams, 20 people. Yep. Where does it say Quadruple A?
It says AAA down below. For unannounced AAA game.
That says production in Far Cry 6. It doesn't mention that, but that says AAA. Unannounced game still. So then it must be in this bit.
Yeah, and they
Unannounced Quadruple A game. Oh. 2019 to December 2020, he updated it. Interesting.
So it's the same post.
Yeah.
And he edited it, turned it into Quadruple A instead of AAA.
No, he edited it after. So this was when he was during creation, and then he edited it after to change it from Quadruple A to production of Far Cry 6. So it was seen as a Quadruple A game by Ubisoft. That's very interesting. That's very interesting indeed.
First comment, was it? Question mark.
Not really, no. The one thing I remember about that game, other than just fucking shit up in tanks, is the cockfighting. You know, roosters, Mexican cockfighting.
Yes, Roy. I'm pretty sure that's where everyone's mind went.
Well,
unlike you.
I know people that would say otherwise. Timmer 2020, Timmer 222. There we go. Well known for his findings on social media, disclosed that Far Cry 6 was labelled as a Quadruple A game before it released back in 2020. In a tweet from September 2020, it was revealed that Ubisoft Berlin was developing a Quadruple A game, as indicated by a project coordinator's LinkedIn profile. This game has now been revealed to be Far Cry 6. While the concept of Quadruple A games is generating excitement as a new step for gaming for the gaming industry, some view it as a marketing tactic by Ubisoft. That's because that's what it is. You want to look at any game that I'd classify as Quadruple A? Let's see. I'd have to actually say Sony are probably at the forefront of that. As annoying as that is to admit. They're Spider-Man games. They're really immersive. Graphically, they're stunning. They play amazingly, and their budgets are not something to shy away from. By Ubisoft's own admission, they hit that criteria. And I'd say they do a much better job of it than Skull and Bones. Just personal opinion. Also, I got so annoyed about Skull and Bones while thinking about it yesterday, I started installing Assassin's Creed Black Flag to actually play some satisfying ship combat.
How old is that game now?
That is a very, very good question.
Must be around 10 years now. Close to it.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag, when did you release? Shush you. Peggy 18. Shush. Leave me alone. There's usually a date here.
Yeah, why is there no dick?
There's always a date. What the fuck? Since when did they remove the date of upload on the bloody Steam pages? Won an award in 2013. What the heck
Weird.
is going on?
Why is there a release date?
October 16th, 2013. There we go.
Oh, it's over a decade then.
Yeah. That took the piss to find.
Is the game just that old that they can no longer show its age?
I have no idea. If that was the case, the Half-Life game should have stopped showing ages a long time ago. Skull and Bones. Sorry, they argue that these supposed quadruple A games are not moving the AAA genre forward in any way. I agree with that completely. There is no real movement apart from here's more money.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, that's just going to the higher ups.
But then in a few months' time, we'll hear about massive layoffs because their quadruple A game didn't reach the expected income and profits.
Of course we will. And that is the disheartening fact. Skull and Bones serves as a prime example of this skepticism, with its lengthy development time spanning over a decade being deemed a quadruple A game, yet ultimately disappointing upon release. 100%.
I don't even call it a triple A.
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't really think Skull and Bones deserves an A.
Narcotics Anonymous. You said NA.
An A.
Oh.
I said they wouldn't. I don't even think they deserve an A. I said a joke.
I thought you said they don't even deserve NA, meaning not applicable.
Yeah,
I just changed it to Narcotics Anonymous. Here we are.
Sure, let's go with that one.
Well, I'm sure the devs need narcotics after this.
Jesus Christ, man. Stop.
It's a weird day, okay? Similarly, Ubisoft's Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, also classified as a quadruple A game. What? Since when?
Man, I think everyone's coming out claiming that their games are quadruple A now.
Well, that's another Ubisoft. That's free. Failed to shatter expectations, further fueling doubts about the legitimacy of the quadruple A designation by Ubisoft. What do you mean?
So is it just a game that's a triple A? Well, a game that was supposed to be triple A that's extremely disappointing. We just name it quadruple A, so it stands out even more.
You know what? That's a really good idea. The day before, you've officially got a quadruple A status. Well done. Game I shouldn't name, you have it too. Enjoy.
That's definitely cheating. You're talking about it.
Fine, I'll stop. Ubisoft's recent struggles have led to questions about its ability to maintain its former dominance in the gaming industry, particularly in light of underperforming titles compared to past successors like the Assassin's Creed and Far Cry series, which you've been butchering for years. It annoys me because at one time a day, Ubisoft was one of my favourite franchises. Well, franchise creators. There we go. One of my favourite games of all time, Splinter Cell. They made that. And apparently, after the Assassin's Creed VR game, they decided to cancel the Splinter Cell VR game they were making. I'd have loved that. But now, once again, if Ubisoft can regain its former position, it has the potential to elevate game development to a new level, possibly achieving the standards of quadruple A gaming. It aims for and driving innovation in industry, and it is currently promising. Okay.
Like there's
So,
a sentence missing there.
yeah, it felt confusing as I was reading it, and my brain was trying to rack it. It's like, the hell's going on here? Right, Helldivers. Because let's be honest, this game even now is still blowing up. They finally fixed the
Literally, as
server
as you
issues.
see them blow up.
Yeah, they finally fixed the server issues, by the way. I've not had a server issue for a while now, which I'm quite happy about.
They probably saw the money they were making and upgraded.
Apparently, it's just about 800,000 concurrent players now that they can sit at.
Jesus.
Which I can't even blame them for having to do that. But the game is still now, even now, immense fun. There are, though, and this is why I have Twitter open ready, little bits that are getting pushed out. Now, I'm going to see if I can find it, because I know it's this guy. Well, I'm pretty certain it's this guy. Because I have so many bloody things. Oh, here we are.
Here comes the tangent.
Vehicles are coming to Helldivers 2. Now, this isn't completely true. We don't know for a fact. But we have seen vehicles appearing. We've also seen some semblance of mechs popping up. We believe it may be
blowing
the
your
Game
teammates'
Master.
heads off because they were annoying you wasn't enough. Here's a giant mech with a gun as an arm that's bigger than the person themselves to blow their head off with instead.
Yep.
Or rather, just implode their entire body. Just plant a shell in their chest and watch the fireworks happen.
Pretty much. I mean, this is actually some new weapons that they've also possibly found. Arc 12 Blitzer, a displacer pack, a portable teleportation device which activates the moment before the user would take a potentially fatal blow, SG-8P Punisher Plasma, and a CB9 exploding crossbow. Which all sound really enjoyable to fuck up with. Totally isn't my, side hobby. But, yeah, this is the, basically what I've been doing in my spare time, just taking a quick look down what they're posting about. But they've always been down to earth with everyone. The reason, though, I want to go fully into it is because of this guy, the CEO of Arrowhead and Helldivers 2 creative director. And it's just because of how he reacts.
I was gonna say, is he an F1 racer, or is that just he like enjoys watching it?
I have no idea. It could be either. He loves F1 though.
Clearly.
I mean, he was very upset though. F1 looks to be nap time this year as well. But he posts like all sorts of little bits, like, oh, the weapon stats. So many of you use the 4 stats we show as numbers in comparison, while each gun has maybe 50 stats in total. The numbers are a guideline, but does not paint a complete picture. Use the one you want. This was an earlier version of it. It had a second page to show you the actual ammo stats, as the ammunition is what defines most of the weapon stats. And this is how it used to look. Which is a lot more information. I mean, having a recoil spread of information is always helpful, but then also knowing how the ammo takes it, what the velocities are, etc. I'd have actually preferred that. Will?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you went silent for so long, I was baffled.
Yeah, just I don't know. I don't really know much about the game, so.
No, fair play, fair play. He has also been posting about the PlayStation layoffs because he's ingrained in the community. That's just, I don't even know how to respond to that. Yeah, he posts like a lot of stuff though. He's been down to earth. We've all heard his views on you should earn the right to basically
Monetize?
that's the one, monetize the games, which I think we all agree with, to be brutally honest.
Was the last episode we went over all that?
Yes, it was. He has come
It
out
would
with
normally be last week, but you know.
Yeah, Will sadly had a bad case of the dying.
Unfortunately, it didn't follow through, so sorry about that.
I'll have to try with stronger poison next time. I mean, what? Totally wasn't taking a drink after I said that. Yeah, these are the moments I love about this game.
Oh, well, there goes your friend.
Yeah, a hell pod dropped on him. You can do assisted reloads,
Fuck
which
you
is what he was
know.
doing there, and that's how bad the blood and gore is. You can just see it all scattering.
Jesus.
It is so much fun.
I mean, he
But
doesn't love a shitload of blood and gore, man.
yeah, there's a lot, mate. And the ragdoll physics are really enjoyable.
Oh, you know they're my favorite thing in games.
Oh, mate. You've not experienced ragdoll until you've been thrown over 25 meters into the air by an explosive you called it. I don't
Or you
recommend it.
understand every game that I play, if I find out they have ragdolls, I spend at least the next half an hour blowing myself up and reloading a save.
Oh, yeah, but I'm on about in Helldivers. Like, Jesus Christ, the amount I've flown. I think it's actually my favourite method of transport.
They should add a statistic, two separate statistics. One to show how much you've traveled on foot, and one to show how much you've traveled through the air.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it'd be needed. So, how your gaming PC will unleash a new wave of AI innovation. I was intrigued when I saw this one, so I thought I'd quickly go over it. But to be honest with you, just looking at it quickly, all right, it's literally just going to be discussion of GPUs and how they can be utilized to push more memory and information towards the AI and help them run quicker. So pretty much nothing that we'll really need to talk about. Let's go on to Grnpda Gaming. Because this man, I've seen him on TikTok occasionally, right? He actually has paper written up so that he can tell you from the distance where he needs to aim his sniper in Battlefield.
Yeah, I've seen a few clips of this.
And he gets a headshot nearly every fucking time. Though, I'll be honest, I did have a bit of a panic attack when I looked up one day from scrolling on my TikTok. I looked up, scrolled, looked down, and then suddenly saw, oh, why the fuck is this guy playing Helldivers? He's gonna have a heart attack. So I am slightly worried about him. I do hope he gets through Helldivers with relative ease, but it is a stressful game, so do take your time.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Okay, if you say so.
He looks good for 71, man.
He does. I mean, hey, if we get to that age, we'll be in wheelchairs. Probably caused by each other, like, but still.
Hey, man, as long as our hands work.
Exactly, that's my fault.
Then we can still sit there and punch each other. Oh, you thought I was on about video games?
Both. Why not? I mean, hey, the arthritis isn't going to stop us. Sony lays off 900 employees in gaming division. This I was surprised to hear.
8%.
Here we go. Sony is the latest tech and gaming giant to undergo a significant round of layoffs. The company's Sony Interactive Entertainment unit is cutting 8% of its workforce, or around 900 people, its CEO Jim Ryan told employees Tuesday morning. The division includes Sony PlayStation devices as well as multiple game development studios. Through discussions over the past few months about the evolving economic landscape, changes in the way we develop, distribute, and launch products, and ensuring our organization is future ready in this rapidly changing industry, we have concluded that tough decisions have become inevitable. The leadership team and I made the incredibly difficult decision to restructure operations, which regrettably includes a reduction in our workforce, impacting very talented individuals who have contributed to our successes. I would also like to just add, I'm very surprised that Sony are doing this, considering the amount of money they probably make, and I don't think anyone really expected it. But
It doesn't make any sense because you're right. We did comparison stats as well when we were looking at sales
yeah,
through certain companies that published games, and they were up there at the top, you know.
yeah,
And then with the way he's wording it, saying, they're laying all they were sad to say goodbye to these very talented individuals. If they're very talented, like it doesn't make sense to be getting rid of them.
yeah.
So things just don't add up as to like the decisions being made.
I mean, so 2021, Sony brought in $24.87 billion. Their operating income was 2.63 billion. Revenue for Microsoft was 16.28 billion, but they don't report gaming segment profit. So was it just what was it then? Was it like, oh right, we brought it had to pay out more than what our gaming unit brought in?
It's the thing, but we're not really going to know because of all the NDAs people have to sign in companies like these.
Yeah, that is the
Which
problem.
had me thinking in 10 years' time, are all the gaming companies just going to crash and burn because all these NDAs just become non invalid because it's been so long and everyone starts speaking up about the 6 month period back in 2023, 2024 that thousands upon thousands of people were laid off for no good reason and God knows what.
That's the bloody question nowadays. Take a look. Do we have? No, we don't. We don't even have them. What?
Hmm.
That's weird. I'd have expected Microsoft and Sony to be on this list.
You hmm. I don't know.
Check out the others too. Nope, same issue. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is number of upcoming video game releases from 2022 through 2024. 156 games released on PC.
Don't feel like a whole lot.
No, it doesn't. But those are probably like bigger games. I'm just surprised then that we can't get roughly a total amount.
Apparently, they made 8.8 billion more than Xbox in 2022.
Yeah. I mean, Sony apparently brought in 75.99 billion in 2019. So I can't see them, struggling.
No, definitely not.
It's, it seems like they're cutting for alternate reasons, and I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, it doesn't sit right, personally. It's just a personal
There's
comment,
definitely
but
information that we're not allowed to have access to that would
yeah,
explain a lot more.
100%. And obviously, they've got to keep that close to the chest, but they should really think about the people they're affecting with these changes, instead of just going, well, it's all okay. No, no, it's not. It's not in the slightest. So, let's see what else he's got to say, shall we? After careful consideration and many leadership discussions over several months, it has been clear changes need to be made to continue to grow the business and develop the company. In what ways? We had to step back and look at our business holistically. Holistically? Holistically? I don't like that word.
Basically, I don't know.
Something like that. and move forward focusing on the long-term sustainability of the company while delivering the best experiences possible for our community. I genuinely don't see how anyone can think this is a good thing at this point.
I'd love to see like the reasoning because they're not really giving us one. There's
Yeah,
all they're saying, which is pretty much all the rest of them said is, "Oh, it's for the betterment of the company."
it's so that we can grow more as a company. It's because of X, Y, Z reasons. It's like,
Which
well,
again is like completely counteracts the rest of the post where they say, yeah, we're so sad to let these really talented individuals go, so on and so forth. But it's for the better of the company." It's like, what?
I can understand it if it was a financial problem, like some companies do have. But
Some of them have just said that, the
yeah,
game, the last release just wasn't up to scratch, and we don't have the budget to keep everyone on, and that
yeah,
that sucked. But that's just how it goes sometimes. But you're definitely right with Sony. There's no way that's the case.
yeah. Same with Microsoft when they cut the
Yep.
1900s last month.
Yep.
Layoffs have hammered the gaming industry over the past few months as companies adapt to the current economic environment, which is all they keep saying. Why
Yeah.
though?
There's no actual reason.
Nope. Sony's biggest competitor in the space, Microsoft, cut 1,900 employees last month after completing its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Elsewhere, Fortnite studio Epic Games cut 830 jobs late last year, while
The
Riot
amount of
Games.
money they bloody make as well from just Fortnite alone, that's another shocker.
Oh yeah, they make it from Fortnite, but let's be honest, with the amount of shit they're doing with Epic Games themselves and their storefront, no wonder they're fucking like just losing money left and right. As we discussed, I think it was the week before, uh, where we were discussing how many times, yeah, we've logged on, claimed a game, and just never used it.
Yep. I would say I in my big games library, there's about 3 games I've actually properly played, and then there's probably like 15 or 20 games that I've just claimed and I've not touched. I haven't even looked at
Exactly.
the store page. Just claimed the game and closed Epic Games.
Exactly. And you can already imagine how much that's probably cost them. Just for us going on and going, yep, I'll take that, and just never launching it. Uh, yeah, while Riot Games, the producer of League of Legends, cut 530 jobs last month. Both gaming and tech have been hammered by cuts, with Amazon slashing hundreds of jobs, including at its video game focused streaming service Twitch, and the video platform YouTube restructuring. You can read Ryan's email to Sony staff below. Um, so the top two bits we've already read out, so I'll read out what's below. Let me just have a quick drink, otherwise I'll probably die. Oh, that's better. I want to be as transparent as possible with you, our partners, and our community about what this means. We envision reducing our headcount by about 900 people, or about 8% of our current workforce. There will be impact for employees across all Sony Interactive Entertainment regions, Americas, EMEA, Japan, and APAC. Several PlayStation studios are affected. I know that receiving this news will be hard and unsettling, and you are wondering what this means for you. Timelines and procedures for how we will approach this will vary based on your location due to local laws and regulations. For those of you in the US, all impacted employees will be notified today. In the UK, it is proposed that PlayStation Studios' London studio will close in its entirety.
Yeah, I was reading that a little bit. They're just literally just the whole studio's gone.
That there will be reductions in Firesprite Studio, and that there will be reductions in various functions across SIE in the UK. Ouch.
Yeah, that's a massive hit. Like that's a lot of people just tossed out.
And to think about it as well, quite a lot of gaming brings quite a lot into the UK, but I am kind of wondering, is that some sort of partial retaliation as well for when Microsoft got proposed to buy Activision Blizzard? Sony Interactive Entertainment weren't happy about it.
Nope.
So it could be some sort of retaliation effort. The proposed changes mean that we will enter a period of collective consultation before any final decisions are taken. All employees who are a part of the collective consultation will be made aware of the next steps today. In Japan, we will implement a next career support program. Details will be communicated separately. In other countries, we will begin conversations with those who are potentially at risk or impacted as a result of this proposed course of action. So yeah, it seems like UK seems to be the only one hit badly, and Sony are just there like, who gives a fuck? Because Japan, they're looking at a next career support program, and other countries they're going to begin conversations. In the UK, it's just closed.
As I said, they're literally just kicked out.
Yeah,
Because I was
closure.
reading it as you were reading the first part, I was seeing that they're just booted out onto the street while the rest of them are all getting help with like what to do next.
That's just weird. For those of you who will be leaving SIE, you will be leaving this company with our deepest respect and appreciation for all your efforts during your tenure, unless you're a part of the UK. For those who will be staying at SIE, we will be saying goodbye to friends and colleagues that we cherish during this process, and this will be painful. Your resilience, sensitivity, and adaptiveness will be critical in the weeks and months to come. This will not be easy, and I am aware of the impact it will have on well-being. Affected employees will receive support, including severance bonus and severance benefits. While these are challenging times, it is not indicative of a lack of strength of our company or brand or our industry. Our goal is to remain agile and adaptable and to continue to focus on delivering the best gaming experiences possible now and in the future. Thank you for your understanding during this difficult period. Please be kind to yourselves and to each other. Jim. What do you mean understanding? They don't really have much of a fucking choice in the
Yeah.
matter.
Thanks for your understanding. Now get out. That's
Yeah.
basically what he's saying.
Thanks for your understanding. You know your second home, this job. Yeah, bye.
Ugh.
This is the eviction papers. Fuck off. Leave me alone. Why you shouldn't let gaming news get you down. This is the one I've kind of been waiting for today. I feel it's needed after what we've gone over so far.
Isn't it just?
Ah, okay, let's do it. A reader tries to be optimistic about the future of the gaming industry. I'm sorry, tries is a bad start. Given the quality of new releases and I'm not even going to try and say that word. Something revenues. There's been a lot of doom mongering recently in these pages. Every week seems to bring a new feature spelling the end of gaming or a gaming crash. So I thought I'd present an alternative view. A recent letter made several points, including that new console sales haven't exceeded the PlayStation 2. And while this is true, to assume anything that doesn't exceed the best selling console of all time is a failure is a little disingenuous. Which, I mean, is a very fair point.
I think you need to
Why?
blur out below
Why?
the last ad before this awful looking Thor.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
Okay, I will take a look back later. Let's also not forget that the Switch, undoubtedly diminishing the return in terms of power has become more, has meant more people continue to use their older consoles over adopting a new one. But both Sony and Microsoft consoles sold exceptionally well in their first year, exceeding PlayStation 4 and all previous Xbox models. You
Sorry,
alright there?
showing bugs of wrestling games and the funniest shit ever. I love them.
Oh yeah. Let me just fall off in nothing. This was unintentional. And now making their way up in the ranking. With the PlayStation 5 selling over 50 million units now. Pause! Stop! Stop this shit! Oh. Alright. Fucking hell. What is this episode turning into? Oh. Right. Let's also not forget that the Switch has sold absolute gangbuster. What the fuck? Now making it the second most popular home console of all time, pushing the last gen's PlayStation 4 down a place. These huge Switch sales will have eaten into Sony and Microsoft's profit. But from an overall view of console success this generation, you can't just look at Sony and Microsoft. Nintendo are a big part of that. Okay.
They're also a
And
completely separate company that make completely different games.
yeah, not to be funny, I don't trust Nintendo as far as I can throw them. Their lawyers are worse than fucking sharks in water. The sense of blood Nintendo get is the moment they see someone go anywhere near slightly looking the same as their IP.
That is not what that's meant to be used for, Aoife.
Several letters have made the same point that Sony and Microsoft can't just make cheaper games with worse graphics because that won't go down well with existing gamers. And paradoxically, Nintendo were right to get out of the graphic rat race, and that this is part of the reason for their success. This doesn't make much sense. While there is room for AAA, AA, and indie, there is clearly an appetite from many gamers for games that don't offer cutting edge graphics.
We've
I
also had
feel,
many episodes where we've talked about how graphics aren't everything and you don't need them.
yeah, I mean, we discussed it earlier in this episode. The
Yeah.
key point we made graphics, a lot of that do not make much of a difference as long as we're having fun. Make a game enjoyable. Simple as that. You will gain an audience. The failure to adapt to the economics of the rising price of games has been laid at the feet of publishers with plenty of accusations that they've done nothing and have no answers. It's clear, though, that they've been rooting around for a while trying to figure out a good way around games taking longer to produce and at a higher cost. Episodic content focusing on established release franchises, increasing the cost of games, producing AA games such as Helldivers, remakes and remasters, cross platform, digital only, and yes, even live service games. All of these have been tried, but the reality is there is no one solution. Which is very true. There is no singular solution to this. And it's going to take a very long time to get right. If they can. Just do a Helldivers. Make things fun.
I'm not sure if it's whatever way you were talking or if you were just having an aneurysm, but I feel like I didn't hear half of what you just said.
I mean, it could be all of the above. Truly, it could be. But yeah, basically, just have make games like Helldivers. Have fun.
Right. I've
And
recuperated.
thank God. And remember, don't do a Sony and Microsoft where you get stupid amounts of money and then cut your costs. Ridiculous. Right. Oh no, why are you doing this? It should be
No,
this one. There we go, that works.
don't give bad news, Roy.
No, my screen went black. So, I wanted to discuss a mod pack I recently got, a collection for Skyrim. As we all know, I'm a massive fan of Skyrim and the mods that they can have and all that stuff. You know yourself, Will.
Oh yes.
What I didn't expect is that within these collections, they would have mod packs of such a large size, even I was questioning whether it would work.
Well, I mean, there seems to be a 65% success rate of it working.
Yeah, I'd say they have valid reason, considering
Their PC probably set on fire.
that there's 1,639 mods in this pack.
How long did it take the person to put this collection together to put all these mods together and also make sure everything worked?
I don't know, because he also did
How
all the
many how many
settings.
mods how many mods did they have to remove? If he
I
ended like he would have ended up with 1,600 mods.
Yeah, I'm genuinely unsure. Let's just say this. Apparently, there's a plugin system built into Skyrim, and basically what it does is, if you have over, I think it's like, I don't even know the count. I'm not even gonna bother trying and guess it. But basically, there's a number that if you go above in plugin count, then the game will just not work. He's apparently touching that border. He's almost there. So you cannot add many more mods to this at all. But
Nice.
considering we mod games like this quite often, tell me, Will, take a wild guess. How well do you think this game runs?
It would be questionable.
So, would me saying I get a solid 60 FPS confuse you?
Yes, and I remember you talking about this when I joined
Well,
you in voice chat one day.
yeah. Well, I've also since installed it on my partner's PC, and they also get a solid 60. And they're using my old RTX 20 series card. So this runs pretty decently overall. It looks amazing, it runs well, and my favourite thing about it, to be brutally honest with you, is the fact that it feels like I'm playing Skyrim again for the first time.
Hmm.
It may or may not have also handed my ass to me more times than I can count.
Yeah. With the amount of mods there, I can believe that.
Yeah. Let's just say, as an archer now, I am not going to take a fucking hammer to the face and survive that shit. I need to keep my hecking distance and run away. But it has been amazing fun. And I used to think that the JK mods, you know, the ones that change how Whiterun and stuff look,
Yeah.
I used to think those looked amazing. I don't know what mods this guy has for them, but it blows JK out the water, and I'm very surprised by that.
Hmm.
So, what I'm going to say, just quickly, and add in at the end, because I like to help people along the way. Constellations, the pack I installed, is supposed to be a little challenging to install. It confused me because when I installed it, I didn't realize that it didn't want me to manually install SKC. It wanted to do that itself. There was two things you had to install. You follow the instructions to the T, you'll be fine. Just don't go installing SKC, it will do it for you, and you will be fine. I made that error. It took me 13 hours to fix. Because I didn't know what I was looking for. So, do it right, it works first try. Well, first couple times. Sometimes you got to reinstall the pack, but that takes like 5 minutes. But yeah, that's the main information I have for us this week. Well,
And that's just one of many collections that'll be out there.
Oh yeah. And honest to God, I'm I'm absolutely lost for words when it comes to Skyrim collections. Like, I thought they were gonna put a lot of effort in, sure, but I didn't expect to that degree.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's the main information that I got for this week and last week. That's pretty much all the important stuff that has happened in the last 2 weeks. There may be a chance we may do something else later, another day, or even later today. It's up to how we feel and what we're gonna plan. But we'll
Yeah,
discuss that
you'd
at
have
another
to
point.
find something as well.
Yeah, that's the other difficult part. Finding
It made
something to
me
do while we do it.
made me think there. It's in the March now, so that Outpost Infinity season I'm waiting for coming out comes out at the end of this month.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
To be honest, I'm just gonna have a quick peek. Outpost Infinity. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yes. Jesus Christ, what is going on with you today, Steam? Stop randomly starting audio. I don't want to
It
hear
always
it.
does that.
Mine usually has it on mute, so I never usually hear things.
Hmm.
So I'm not used to this crap. I'm pretty certain though there's supposed to be some new releases coming soon. I just can't remember the details. But if there is anything and there's stuff to look out for, then amazing news. I'm quite excited for it, to be honest. Uh, I know that there has been quite a few VR games and stuff that have been announced as of recent, so I'm keeping my eyes out. If there's anything interesting, I will probably let Will know, and Will let me know, and we'll decide from there.
Yep. We'll
Oh,
see what we see.
Steam's got a new feature. I didn't know about this. Apparently, Steam's added a system for just top releases of a certain month,
Uh,
which works quite effectively.
see a lot of anime.
I don't have much of an issue against anime.
No, nor do I. But typically, I don't play the games.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Universism. Does this mean I can be God and just destroy an entire civilization?
There's plenty of games like that, Roy.
I
You can.
know. I know there's one in VR and I want to play it.
No.
No one can stop me from wanting to destroy civilizations, okay?
Hmm.
I want to do that enough in my off time, but I keep getting told no. Disappointing. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, I believe.
Ah,
Um,
Devigo. Funny as fuck, but Jesus Christ. You
what?
destroy everything around you. Devigo. The VR game.
Oh, don't think I've
I'm
heard of
just
that.
saying, Roy, I went to the virtual VR titles as well, and one of the first things showing up.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna send you. I'm just gonna send you. You already know. I'm just gonna send you a screenshot of what
is it
the
this?
page I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's on my front page as well.
You know, that's all it ever is for me, mate.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Uh, just this time though, to be honest, though,
Mm,
usually mine's quite clear typically.
must be nice, man. Must be
Oh,
nice.
it's delightful. I highly recommend it. Just you know, don't do that stuff, I guess. I don't really know what advice to give you here. But no, we are keeping an eye out because, to be honest, we want games that we can play and just take the piss and have a good time. But there's never really much, and that's the sad part. We want our
No,
games that allow us to do stupid shit and have fun, but no.
fun is the main want and need.
Yeah, we seem to be lacking across the bloody board.
Don't we just?
Because, yeah, there's games like Helldivers, Power World, and whatever else. But those are games that I'm playing Will's not too interested in. They're not his sort of thing. But we have a crossover games, shall we say. So those games we're looking for, basically, to see what we can do, but it's a wait and see. We can't say for certain. But yeah, we'll basically just wait, see what comes out, and hopefully there's some good stuff.
Did you know that Google Earth is a survival VR game?
No? Since when?
I'm just searching on Google for just typing in random categories with VR in it, and apparently Google Earth VR is a VR survival.
I mean, technically, if you walk into a wall during, you may die.
Only
Same with
one
a
in
VR
three
game.
survive.
Yeah. But yeah. Shall we end the episode there then, Will?
Yeah, we can figure out something now outside of it.
Sounds good, mate. Right. Well, with all that being said and done there, thank you all for watching. We hope you have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to leave a like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will catch you all next time. Bye for now, guys.
Have a good one, guys.